Wheel. Hey everyone, we did it. I'm Lacey. This is Cooking with Mother Goose Taste the World on Storybook Nutrition's brand new YouTube channel. This is our guest author, Nico Minguela.
Hey guys.
And some boys that you're going to get to know really well, Axel and Rex.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our kitchen, and let's get started with our first episode of Cooking with Mother Goose Taste the World Spain. Here we go.
Let's go, guys.
All right. So Nico is a friend of ours that lives here in Spain, lives down the street, and is Spanish. So I thought you're a resident expert, literally. We are going to make a T-bone steak marinated in some local ingredients, olive oil being like the most important one.
Yeah.
And then a romesco salsa, which, as I've read, is born in Spain and is based with tomatoes and bell pepper and nuts. So the boys are going to help. How are you in the kitchen? Is this the comfortable zone for you?
I mean, it's no secret that I'm not really a good cook. I've never really cooked in my life. But, let's see how it goes, guys.
Okay, perfect. Well, we will get you started. So first thing we're going to do, we just all wash hands. So if you're at home, make sure your hands are clean. And the first thing we're going to do, because here in Spain, unlike American kitchens, we have much smaller ovens. We're gonna roast these tomatoes. So
You're gonna roast them? How mean?
we're gonna roast them. Give them your worst insults.
yeah.
So right about in here is the oven, and we're just gonna turn it to the convection bake, which is what I always use, and then we're gonna just turn this way up high. Okay?
Yep.
So our first step before this oven gets hot. This is the easy step. I'm going to start you off nice and slow, easy win. I'll have you take these tomatoes off the vine and set them on this tray. I think you can handle it, yeah?
I think I can handle it.
Okay, cool. In the meantime, Rex,
Yeah.
what about helping out with some of the next ingredients that we're going to need for the salsa? So today's recipe, we're doing two different things. We're going to need the stove and the oven. So part of our romesco salsa requires some hazelnuts and some almonds. Now, when we did the video, you and Sienna helped to bash these up. You can taste one, of course, into small, tiny bits. And I'm going to have you and Axel do exactly the same thing.
Peanuts.
All right, Nico, that can go directly into the oven, and
Right.
we're going to set the timer for about 10 minutes. So,
Shall I open it up?
yeah, go right ahead. So, if you have a gas stove at home, you could take these tomatoes, you could hold them directly over the flame, and they would basically want to kind of burn those skins a little bit, and then we're going to slip them off because we don't want tomato skin in our romesco salsa. It makes it too chewy.
That makes sense.
So, and we want the flavors of the roasted tomato and the lycopene that's activated from the cooked tomato. So good for you. So Rexy and Axel, why don't you pour your nuts into here? So at home, we have almonds and we have almonds and hazelnuts, which we're gonna just kind of push together. This is the traditional nuts we would put in romesco, but if you have a nut allergy to any of these, you could swap them out. But if you hate hazelnuts and love pistachios, use those. This is a highly flexible recipe. You can eat them before you go. So why don't you fold these in?
Mushroom.
Yep.
Back on. Can I do that?
You guys can take turns. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of tools. Be careful with this. This is like Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer, guys.
And this is a rolling
Can I
pin. Yep. You're gonna bash this pretty hard. You're gonna take a turn. That did happen.
Yeah, I was about to buy this and it flew off.
Good. Do your best also. I want people to know that you can bash with more of this thing.
So you can buy two things, guys.
And
Step aside.
yeah.
Excellent.
Take some of this.
Now, if you don't have two Bam Bam children at home, you can.
Hey, I'm
Go ahead.
Mommy fingers there.
You can use your food processor to put these in. You basically want to make the mess into little pieces.
Are there forks
Let's take a peek.
Forks in there?
Nope. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Pretty good.
That's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Let's let Nico get in there. Now, and stop eating them. All the ingredients.
They're so good.
That's all
Good
pretty
to
good.
taste what you have.
Some stuck in it.
All right. Go ahead.
Try it. Just
Go
yeah.
for it.
Smash
Yeah. Don't be afraid. That's all right.
What happens?
Okay, guys.
What happens?
It happens, huh?
Yeah.
Be more careful this time.
What do you think? Yeah.
I
Good.
think it's good.
All right. Let's take a peek.
Let's reveal the.
All right.
That looks
Excellent.
pretty nice.
That looks great. So, hey, before you guys eat them all, why don't we scoop them up and put them back in this bowl because we're going to use them in our salsa.
I
Now,
just washed my hands on that.
I bet you might be wondering, like, how I got Nico here and why we're doing this whole YouTube channel thing to begin with. But Storybook Nutrition actually started back in 2019 when the boys were a little bit younger, and I was reading to them, like as we do as parents. And the whole idea of the channel and the brand and really our like essence is to extend the time that we spend within our family and with and quality time together. And so we've always linked our recipes from the very beginning to books and to things that we read to bring some of the magic and imagination that we develop when we read a story to the kitchen, where we need to nourish the rest of ourselves. So we're nourishing our hearts and minds as well as our bodies. And so Nico is an author, believe it or not. How old are you?
I'm 15 now.
He's 15. He's only 15, guys, or he's already 15. And he has a published book that I want to show you. Some people never publish a book. I published one. Please stop that. 2 years ago. But this is Malachite, the Sorcerer's Heir. Nico, is this the only book you've ever written?
No, it's not. I've written 6 more of the same series.
How about that? So not only is he an author, he's an author 7 times over. So if you have any questions out there about how to write or what this book is about, and questions, like, you've come to the right place. This is the real guy. So I want you to have a chance to see the book, find it on Amazon. If you live locally here in Spain, you can go to the bookshop in San Pedro and pick up a copy of it. And my book, why not? I mean, you're there. And
Both good books,
yeah,
trust.
all good books. And we've read this, so I would love to tell you a little bit about it. But in order to have dinner on the table in the next half an hour, we have to keep moving on. Okay, so send us your questions, and we are going to just transition from Romesco salsa, excuse me, Rexy, to why don't you just, you know what would be a great thing to do? Why don't you take this outside and shake it out on the terrace so that the doggies can eat this and they'll think it's so
I'm
great.
a dog, right?
Okay, tip for you at home, include your pets.
Come
We're
on,
gonna
go
get
eat.
the steak ready.
Go eat that.
So, excuse me, I saw you gotta open the fridge. If you're tuning in from America, don't be alarmed. This tiny cabinet is our refrigerator.
It's actually a fridge.
It's a fridge. This is what it's like to live in Europe. And oh, good, olives. I forgot about those.
Oh, can we have some?
Welcome to Spain, guys.
Welcome to Spain. Yeah, we should have really started this way. I can't believe we sat at the table together without some olives to eat.
Orange juice.
Hey, Rex. Can you scoot over a sec? Or you want to close that?
Can I some pickle?
Can you just step away from the refrigerator? Perfect. So, earlier today, you might have seen on Instagram or stories, I went to the butcher in Guadalmina, and we bought some T-bones. Okay, so we are making some steak. And you might think, well, hey, Lacey, like, why is steak your recipe for Spain? Well, here in Andalusia, we eat a lot of meat, and we eat some steak, and we barbecue, and so that is why. But also because Brody Malachi, our main character in this story, is definitely, I would say, a meat eater. Wouldn't you think?
He is a meat eater. Might have something to do with the fact that he's a werewolf, but yeah.
Yeah, a werewolf. So we think that this would be a recipe that would appeal to him. So this is what it looks like when it's been marinating, because I picked up the meat around 3 o'clock. And can you scoot over a little bit? I would like to show Nico. Can you step away for a second, please? I'd like Nico to learn how to marinate this meat. So this is steak 1. We're going to cook this one first, because it's been marinating. And then this is steak 2, which we're going to give to you. So folks at home, after we open this and you handle raw meat, we're going to wash our hands again with soap and water because that's food safety.
Yes.
So here's what we need for our marinade. We're going to start with some garlic, okay? Good thing that Brody Malachite / Ash is not a vampire. Because that would not work. So this is a little gadget that I call the garlic twister, okay?
Okay.
So you're going to take these dientes de ajo,
Yeah.
and I've already peeled them, so they come with the paper, and you're going to put them in there.
Yeah.
You're going to cover it, and then the teeth of this garlic twister, which I bought on Amazon, here. You might want to hold it in 2 hands, and you're going to twist it. Twist it, yep. The more you push, and the faster you twist, the tinier the bits become.
Yeah.
All right.
You could also smash them with the hammer.
You could. See a teeth? Okay, you gotta get them together really a little bit harder. That's right. Don't
Wait,
be
can I
sorry.
smash the other
You want
piece
her
of
feeling?
Can I throw? Oh, this is too hard.
Taking care of the garlic, guys. I mean, the ajo.
That's right.
We don't like garlic.
Sure you do.
You guys don't like garlic?
Mommy, can I just get a piece of,
Yeah.
can I get a piece of gum for the picture inside my garlic?
No,
That's
all right.
gross.
So the other bits of our marinade are going to be vinegar, balsamic vinegar, and olive oil. Okay. We'll also have some rosemary, which will go grab from the garden in just a second. So are we in tiny bits yet?
I think so.
Let's see. Oh yeah, great.
Oh, Jesus.
So the best way to get the garlic out of the garlic twister is to use a fork, exactly, to like prong it out. So it says 2 teaspoons in the recipe. We used about 3 medium-sized cloves. I like garlic. Yeah, just pop it in there. And if you love garlic in your family, use more. If you don't like it so much, use less. But it adds a nice flavor to our meat. So our marinade is really 4 ingredients only: olive oil, balsamic vinegar, garlic, and rosemary. Why? Because here in Spain, we really like to let the flavors of the ingredients that we're using shine. It's not an overly complicated recipe. These are ingredients you probably already have in your pantry. You can use dried rosemary if you don't grow it fresh in your garden. We grow it fresh because I heard it makes mosquitoes want to go away. I don't know if that's true. But
Definitely
we're
makes
trying.
vampires go
We're
away.
trying.
So we're gonna add some balsamic vinegar, and it says 4 tablespoons. That's about 59 milliliters, 60 milliliters. So you wanna, Rex, you wanna pour it in
Stop.
all the way up between the 1/4 and the 1/3 cup would be great. Okay.
So
That's gonna need olive oil.
here, here. To the 6.
Up to the 6, over here.
Or to the 1.
Okay.
To the 3.
And then this is like quick tip for you. This is really good for you. So olive oil, Spain is the #1 exporter of olive oil. Everyone thinks that a lot of people think Italy, but Spain is like really where it's at with olive oil.
Yeah.
A huge variety, from inexpensive to expensive. If you're using olive oil to cook, use your grocery store variety, okay? Because we're gonna mostly, that looks like about enough. That's perfect.
A little bit.
Since this is a marinade, we're gonna use the grocery store one. But when we do the romesco, which we aren't gonna cook, we're gonna use like a fancier, prettier local olive oil, okay? But
That's nice.
we're trying to use the ingredients from the country where we are, which is Spain. So,
Wait, do we have the tomato olive oil that I like?
no, we're out of that. But we'll pick up some of that for a different recipe. So we're gonna, wow, Rex. Yeah, that's
Too much.
it doesn't matter. It's a very flexible recipe. Why don't you go ahead and fill up an equal amount of olive oil to the balsamic vinegar?
So,
So about
more
I would say about a
3
cup.
to 4. To
1 cup.
To the 1.
Fill it to the 1 cup mark. So Rex was really excited about the balsamic. So instead of about a quarter of a cup, we have about a half. So we're just gonna add some more olive oil. It's no big deal. Whatever the meat doesn't accept, we're just gonna toss anyway. So this is gonna bend in.
Well, if you look at the inside.
So now, guys, we had 4 ingredients. We had olive oil, balsamic, garlic, and what was the last one? Does anyone remember?
Vinegar.
We did balsamic vinegar. It's an herb. It's green.
Tomatoes.
That's a red, but that's okay. Keep trying.
Peppers.
Olives.
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
You got it. All right. So you guys want to take a pair of scissors and pop outside and cut some?
No, too bad.
Let me find this. Where? Oh, I moved this. Okay. So Rex is gonna lead the charge. How do you walk with scissors? Tell everybody.
And hold with the tip and put your hand down, but do not run scissors.
That's right. Tips and palms and walk carefully. All right. Let's go outside and cut some rosemary. Actually, you want to go with me? You want to? You two go.
Wait, didn't Whoopi unroot it all?
No, those are the green onions. The dogs like to dig up our plants. So I'm starting to smell that maybe those
Me too.
tomatoes
I can
are
smell it.
starting to burn. So let's take a peek. Now, you're opening the oven. It's set on a super high temperature. So chances are a waft or like raging storm of hot air is coming out of this. So I would save your eyebrows.
Yep.
Ready? Oh yeah. Okay. This is looking good. What I see is that some of these skins have split, but we don't have any real char on them, and we want them to have a bit of this kind of like, almost like they've been on an asado, so on a grill. So we're gonna just crank this up even hotter. It seems impossible because it's really warming up the kitchen, and we're gonna put the heat only from the top. All
I
right.
do not know where it is. Where's the rosemary? All I can find is lavender.
The rosemary is right around there by the solar
That's
panel.
what I just said!
Rosemary. Hey guys, rosemary has little tiny purple flowers.
That's what I just said! It's lavender!
It does. So did you rub it between your feet? It looks like they're like little tiny pine needles. So if you rub it between your fingers,
It's
you smell like rosemary versus lavender. So we're gonna give those tomatoes a little bit longer, but we're gonna get started on the romesco salsa. So
Let's go.
while they're gone, phew, we're gonna move this away, and we're gonna let you get the bags of meat, which is here.
Yeah.
I'll hold it, and I'm gonna let you give this a quick stir. We can add the rosemary in a minute. Why don't we pour that in?
All right.
Make more juicy. It is to give it added flavor and to kind of break down some of those proteins so that when you cook it, it's not chewy. So you always have like an acid, an oil, and some sort of flavoring. So that's the vinegar be the acid in this. And then this is the big, look how fat this is. I mean, that's
Pretty
at
chunky.
least like a baby, it's like a thumb, a bigger person's thumb than mine. Why do we want a fat piece of meat? Because we're going to make, I think it was just taking advantage of load. So you can take some, take some scissors.
Okay.
And
Where do you go?
hey, Axel, this is Rex's turn. You can have a turn in a minute.
What did I get to do?
Lots of stuff.
Everything.
We'll take turns,
You
guys.
poured the vinegar.
He's just going to do some. Don't. Can you just keep going? That's the fun, guys. There's so much to do, and like we can all participate. Okay, good. Actually, do you want to pull some needles off some of the other rosemary? Rosemary, little in fact, but if you are studying for exams, for example,
Which I am.
Rubbing rosemary and smelling it is supposed to help with your short-term memory. So if you smell some rosemary and then study, it's supposed to help you with your recall.
Okay.
If you're just tuning in, this is Storybook Nutrition's new YouTube channel, and this is our first episode, Taste the World, with Mother Goose Taste the World. We're in Spain. We're going to travel around to a different country every week, and this week we have guest author Nico Minguela, author of Malachite, The Sorcerer's Heir. He is a, if I may, 15-year-old Spanish author who's written this book in English, no less, and this is the first book in a series of novels aimed at, I would say, middle school aged kids. And we've read it, we love it, and we have a couple of expressions that we now use in the family that come straight from this book. For example, when we make a mistake, we tend to say like, "Oh, miércoles," and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how that became the phrase for like.
Well, I mean, I don't really like to include swear words in my books, so yeah, I thought, well, what can I say? I have to choose a word. I have to find a word which my characters can say when they feel frustrated that, doesn't have anything bad to say. So, it's a very common Spanish thing to say, miércoles, when you're frustrated when you make a mistake. Lots of Spanish people know. It's not like something I invented. It's just something I included in my book.
That's interesting because I thought miércoles was like a day of the week.
It is the day of the week.
Okay, which day is it?
Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
So today is jueves. We don't say no jueves. But miércoles is jueves, right? So miércoles is basically saying, oh, Wednesday, every time that you.
Why Wednesday? It should be Monday.
Yeah, right?
Mondays are
definitely. So, as you can see, I'm just cutting this vacuum seal off.
Is that raw?
Yeah.
Raw meat.
Raw meat. This would be a dream for a
Werewolf.
I'm going to do this over the same. Why don't you grab this little picture of the different state temperatures of doneness and explain to people the different colors that are achieved by how much cooking we do. And
Sorry guys, want to help with me?
Okay.
So the first one we got is rare, which is one of my favorites. It's really red, and it's the least cooked one. Want to explain the next one?
Medium rare. I mean raw. Or
medium rare.
Rare is slightly lighter and a little less red.
Still pretty rare though.
Yeah.
Then we got medium, which is like not too cooked, not too rare, kind of like in the middle. Has a nice pinkish color. Then we got this one. Want to explain? Would you care to explain?
One is like when the red has mostly faded and just like brown, but like a little bit of light brown in the middle.
Basically, in our family, we only cook things like past medium if it's maybe a burger, or we have people over from England that want it well done. And that's just a cultural thing. So here in Spain, mostly we're in the medium or rare category. If you got kids at home, I would suggest medium rare being your least cooked. So now this is your marinade. So what I would just ask you, Nico, is you're just gonna kind of massage this meat a little bit. I might have too much hair on the
I
back.
deserve a massage.
And so I mentioned that I marinated one earlier. That's because a marinade typically needs between 30 minutes and up to 2 hours to like do its magic. But if you massage the meat and the marinade into it, it is be ready faster. Some people say that even 5 minutes of like kneading your marinade into your meat will have the same effect as like a 2 hour sitting together. I think that would be, and any pet should probably not be at the cooking.
Not the mouth range.
Can you sleep her away? I'm going to back up that one. Yeah, very far away. Mud ovens, not great for kids. Yep, those are about ready. So please, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move this over here. So when you're done doing that, if it feels too awkward, you can just pop it in the fridge.
Okay.
We're gonna
I'll just pop this in the fridge. Yeah.
Do we have any questions? Anyone there at home? In what country are you besides Spain, like us? Anything?
We do have some.
Okay.
can read.
You want me to read them?
It's hard for me to read them on the. I say hi. I see. Looks like a good tactic to get stress out of my system. That must be for the nuts. Yeah. Can you read for us, Rocio? Because
Yes,
it's
of course.
Okay.
Okay. How old is Nico?
I'm 15. I'm 15, but I'm turning 16 in January, so not too long for that.
Okay. Then lazy? No, that's another one for Nico. And
Okay,
Nico,
good.
do you
That's
cook
the
in
other
your
question.
house or do your brothers cook?
I mean, honestly, my mom mostly takes care of the cooking in my house. My dad sometimes helps, but yeah, I'm not normally the one to cook in my house. I try my best. I try to join in. I have cooked some stuff in my life. Like I consider myself an expert in baking. Not baking, toasting bagels is my specialty.
Oh, look at that. Toasting, huh?
Yeah, I'm really good at that. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as I go.
And Nico, what is your favorite food?
My favorite book,
No, food.
food.
Well,
Well-
book if you want to.
My favorite food. I love all Spanish food, but I have to put it in my top one. I'd say, my family's paella. Like,
oh, yeah.
yeah, my family's really good making paella. Not me though. My family.
Well, this is a great connection to have because I don't know how to make paella yet. So I'll be going over to your house next time your family makes it, just to be sure to call. Very cool. All right, well, we are gonna let those tomatoes just relax for a second because they're very, very hot. And
Yeah.
right now, what we need to do is like slip the skins off because we don't want the skins in the romesco, but we can't touch them right now. So we are gonna like transition to this romesco recipe.
Buy that
and-
book.
and or just give it a try. Download the free download. So we have here the bash nuts, and we could have roasted the red bell peppers, but I believe in having some using autos, which is basically the bell pepper that's already been grilled. So
Pimientos asados.
thank you for saying it correctly. So we're gonna use these. So I'm gonna let you open this, and we're just gonna we just have to chop them up a little bit, not crazy, because we're gonna put this in the blender. And
You got this.
what can I do?
What? Can I show up? No, I am.
Okay, so let's just get some of this juice in here.
Juice.
I know it's really hard to share. This is just the liquid that has great flavor, but would make a big mess. So
Oh, something fell.
that's fine, just some of them. Okay, so
So can I start?
if you live here in Spain, Mercadona, if you're in Jacksonville, I'm pretty sure we have these at Publix and Winn-Dixie and everywhere else. But you can make your own with bell pepper and an oven. Or
But we like to take shortcuts.
yes, please.
Yay.
So if you look at the recipe, we're gonna need some red wine vinegar and some olive oil.
Yeah.
So let's see how much. All right, that's we know we need. So I'm gonna put this in. Right here we've got bean cilantro, with some more garlic, olive oil, red wine vinegar, and salt and pepper. So red wine vinegar, not a fancy like variety. This is the run of the mill, €1.
Fancy enough.
€1, maybe 19 cents. So you don't have to be rich to do this. And can you put Pepe down, please? We're just gonna rinse this out.
Can I start chopping these?
Yes, please. And will you measure some vinegar
Oh,
and
that's
some of our
Yeah.
fancier olive oil that has like more gentle flavor? And try to please use like your skills.
Like, can I
How
also use
much
this?
vinegar?
So if you want to read, you can tell me.
Can I use this too? Can I use this?
Alright.
I think it's like a quarter. Yeah.
So we need 4 tablespoons of red wine vinegar.
Which is between 50 and 60 milliliters if you're not from America. So that's right, a little above between the quarter and the 1/3 cup.
Alright.
You want another
Oh,
question?
Sure.
Okay, people are asking why did you choose recipes from all over the world?
Oh, it's a great question. So, it gets boring to eat and cook the same thing over and over. And most of us as like parents and families have about 10 recipes that we rotate around. And so by kind of giving us the challenge of tasting recipes from around the world, we are exposed ourselves and the kids to other new flavors new foods, but also new ways of thinking, new cultures. So these are like a lot of these recipes come from places we visited or that we want to visit. And now that we live in Marbella and we have this really international community at school and all around us, walking down the sidewalk, we hear 4 or 5 languages every day. I wanted to have a chance to embrace that. So I'm hoping that you have a chance to kind of travel and explore at home, and then really feel like you get connected to a place that you might even want to visit. But this is a very tangible way for anyone to experience the world or different flavors in different countries without a passport, an expensive airplane ticket. It's accessible, and I want that to be a way for people to eat healthy and experience new things. So that's why it's a long-winded answer, but it's true. We can put that in here. We can add the olive oil. Axel, those look great. You can put those directly in here.
Scoop them.
Yeah. Pick them up. Great, Rex. That's great. And
Squishy.
oh yeah.
Squishy.
Is there a way to show anybody this nice and close without touching them?
Squishy. Mom, can I mix them?
Mix them up. You might want to get a spoon. So those tomatoes that we just roasted, look, now that they've cooled just a touch, the skin's just gonna slide off. They're still pretty hot. Well, we used the store-bought. Hey guys, can you be a little bit quieter? A store-bought red bell pepper. You can't if you use canned tomatoes, and it's just not going to taste as good. So I do really encourage you to take the shortcuts where you can, but do the heavy lifting where it's necessary. And this is necessary. I need
Is it necessary to smash the tomato with the timer?
no, but so we're just flipping these off. Yeah, I'm gonna let some of this hot heat out. And so look at this, Nico. See how they just peel off? So that's it. We don't have to show you every single one. I just wanted you to get an idea. And what we're gonna do in a minute is we're gonna get 2 things going at once: the steak, and we're gonna get these blended. Ouch, hot. Great thing for people that want to commit the perfect crime and have no fingerprints to do. So when we were reading Malachite, the book starts out in England and then moves to Madrid, which is the capital of Spain. Fun fact. And then goes on to some places that are in the magical world, right? In the magical realm. And Brody, who's their main character, who we got the sneak peek as a werewolf, makes some friends. And he is a kid that seems to have moved around a lot growing up, and then for the first time in his life has a chance to make friends and be a part of a group. Did that come from experiences that you had, Nico, with making friends from people that moved here from other places, or how did that gang of characters come about?
Well, the gang of characters I have in my book, they're not really based off any real friends I have. They do share, most of them do have qualities. Most of them have qualities that my friends have. I've lived here all my life. I'm not really like Brody. I haven't been moving around all my life. I do travel a lot. I do get to meet lots of people from lots of different countries, which I love. But I've pretty much had pretty much the same friends for a while. And yeah, some of the characters do share their qualities, but most of them are just made up for the characters that Brody needed at the time. So
Very cool. Well, I think that it was really nice to find the sense of belonging he found with his new friends, and it's kind of the new life when he learned to be a magician. Sorry, my hands are on fire. It's definitely a job that I'm glad I did not use. If we get back ourselves back, we're going to take these hot tomatoes. We're going to put them in the blender. We're going to pour the ingredients that Rex and Axel mixed up, with the olive oil and vinegar that you made all into here, and we're gonna blitz it. And then we can blitz it like a little bit so it's a bit chunky, or we can like blast it and smooth. I am a pro of blitzing it a little bit so it's chunky, and then later with the leftovers, blasting it so it's more like a nutty gazpacho, which is great to have, or like even like their, what's that stuff called that you have in Spain like for breakfast, where you have like the piece of bread and you have the tomato that you put on top.
Yeah.
Kind of like a more flavorful tomato thing you put on top. What is that called? Like something.
Just
You know
we just call it
tomate.
Yeah.
Say it loud.
Tomaca.
Say it loud and proud.
Tomaca. Yeah.
Tomaca.
Tomaca.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know what it was called.
Me neither, guys.
So how about that? We all learned something. So yeah, you can. I'll let you. Hang on. This is a hilarious thing. I can never get this thing locked in place. That's not safe. So
I
let's
would
see.
not put my hand in there, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so this is now connected, so it's safe. So we pour these ingredients in here.
Yep.
Same with your
Olive oil.
olive oil and red wine vinegar, which is different from the balsamic we used for the steak. Because we need to get this meat cooking. And now we have we're gonna add some naked tomatoes. So
Should I add this?
yeah, go ahead. So depending on the season and where you live in the world, tomatoes are more sweet or less. So this recipe is gonna allow us to add, maybe use that spoon right there or your hands, and you're gonna take these tomatoes and put them inside.
Yeah. Should I use this?
You can take a stab at it and see if they stick,
Okay.
or you can
Well,
scoop them, or you can just grab them.
yeah.
They're slippery little suckers. So we're gonna blitz this up and we're gonna taste it and we're gonna decide, do we need to add a touch of sugar or is it okay? There's one other ingredient that we need to add, and that would be cilantro. And
Cilantro.
which is a polarizing herb for a lot of people. So some people love it, some people hate it. I love it. My dad hates it. So if you don't like cilantro, substitute something else. You can use parsley. You can use basil.
I like it.
I think mint might be weird, but go for it if you like it.
We're open to suggestions.
Exactly. And romesco salsa, so we're going to serve it today over roasted asparagus, which we're going to roast in the oven when we finish off our steak. But it's also,
Skip this one.
no way. That's why we went through all the trouble of taking them off.
Fair enough.
Is great over fish, over chicken, and over vegetables. So when you think of the Mediterranean diet and the plant-forward, plant-based proteins and just plant-based food, these are some extra nuts for Barbie. That is kind of a hallmark. So close this.
Yeah.
Nice and tight. And we're gonna turn it on and go ahead and give it. I'm gonna turn on our skillet because we're gonna get started on the steak. So you wanna try that and give it a go?
All right. Turn it on. I must admit, guys.
I know what's wrong.
This works.
There's a power button down here somewhere.
So it wasn't me.
It's not you, I think. That's weird.
I would not be surprised if I was a problem.
Okay, good plan. That's my cell phone ringing. Sorry.
Hey
Hey guys, I'm on YouTube. Just call you later. Here, will you bring that closer to here? Yeah, if anyone from Jacksonville's on right now, thanks for tuning in. Mom, Dad, if you're there, that's
Press
awesome.
this button.
Yeah, I think so. Let's turn it. Isn't that
We do
embarrassing?
have some more questions if you want.
Sure. Like, how do you turn on a blender?
Well, this is good. Look, how did you manage to do all this YouTube channel and while being a mother?
Oh, well, I have some help.
Must be crazy.
Axel Rex being one of them. Yeah, that's a bit crazy. I cook every day. Believe it or not, this live video is something that I do not on film. But my hair doesn't look as good usually. And so I really wanted to give another format to the cookbooks that we made, that I wrote, and I felt like YouTube is something that my kids are going on all the time. And is this for real?
Whoops, guys.
So there is another way to do this.
Look behind, Lacey. Behind properly.
Am I not plugged in properly? I mean, the fan is plugged into the same thing.
No, a lo mejor tiene un interruptor. Dale. Dale la vuelta. No,
The whole thing?
por detrás, sí.
Let's check.
Nope.
So
Fortunately, no. Sorry.
there's great news here. I have a food processor. So we're just gonna switch. So part of the great thing about doing things live is that you can see that there's always a surprise in the kitchen, and being flexible is the name of the game. So you don't have cilantro, you use parsley. Your blender miraculous doesn't work. We can just
We always have to have a second dog.
yeah. We're gonna go with isn't this cute? So welcome to Europe. This is a food processor. In the United States, this is like 7 times as big. So we're gonna put this little guy right here and break the seal. And now we're gonna like do this in batches.
You're gonna have to trespass.
So we're just gonna pour some of that in bit by bit. So these are mostly tomatoes. We're gonna see if it's the plug or if it's the actual machine. Because Santa Claus brought that for us, and I'm gonna have to tell him like that's a problem. Let's see. We know this works because the fan is on. So you're good at toast, so you could also put this delicious future salsa on toast. And really, the only cooking we've done is roasting the tomatoes. Everything else is like a pantry staple ingredient. So just gonna put this together. Okay, so that's.
That is weird.
You know, I did tell you guys that we had that big storm yesterday, and that
Maybe
I
the power's
did
not working.
electricity. Yes.
You
Okay.
got it.
Go ahead and blitz this, and then
All right,
we're
which
gonna
one?
that one,
Right.
turbo, and this. Yeah, and then you're gonna open it from the bottom,
Yeah.
like turn that counterclockwise. Yep, and then I'll give you this bowl. You're gonna dump that in there, and maybe then and then we're gonna put this in here, et cetera, et cetera. That's pretty smooth, so we might want to do it next one like less,
Less.
so that we don't end up with like soup. So I've
Right.
just been heating up this pan, which is now extremely hot. Yeah, good.
Um.
Okay. Perfect. So we just put that back and we do it again. I can give you this to help.
I got this, guys.
Oh yeah, paper at the bottom.
Oh. Let's get it out.
So true that hi Barbie. Sharp blades and hot surfaces are a pinch point in the kitchen. Doesn't mean that children of any age can't participate, but it's always good to keep a mindful eye out. So you're gonna pour some of this in here, and then it kind of has like a locking mechanism similar to this is. So pour some of that in, and I'll help you close it. In the meantime, remember that meat that we marinated that we got from Ruben? Look at that. So it's been in here. This is a big steak. I got a lot of little dog people around here are really excited about it. So I put the steak in here, and it's gonna sizzle. And first, Nico, do you need some help? I lost that phone Rex to I don't know where. Ready? How happy is that sound? Let's set far away. Give it a second. Give me some awesome. Two things that we have all these delicious marinade in here. Guess what, guys? You're not allowed to eat it. This goes straight in the garbage. That's a good safety thing. So we don't reuse any juices that have served their purpose and they go away in the garbage. In the meantime, you want some reinforcement? You want to switch gears?
Might need a bit of help closing this.
I got it. I'll switch with you. You can grate some pepper into here, and then top of our steak is still going to be cold, okay? Because it's so thick. You're going to take some pepper, and you're going to grind it over the top. You're going to take some balsamic salt, which is just salt soaked in balsamic vinegar. Like, that's it. Sprinkle it on there. And then we're going to say, Alexa, set the timer 2 minutes. And then we're going to flip the stick. So, salt and pepper this baby.
Alright, guys. Not sure exactly how much you have to add.
As much as, just so much looks good. If you start sneezing, it's probably too much.
And just get ready from the thing, from the machine. I think that's enough.
Okay. Pro tip, always taste what you're making. All right. That. Braces averted with the romesco. I need to find my boys. They've got to do the cilantro.
Yep.
That looks good. Okay.
I think I've added enough.
Alexa, how many minutes left on the timer?
We have 1 minute left on a 2-minute timer.
Okay, so that's that. If you want your meat in this zone up here at the top, like we do,
Yeah.
you only want to do like a couple of minutes, maybe 2 on each side before you put in the transition to the oven with the asparagus. So I'm gonna flip it. Rexy, can you get the asparagus out of the refrigerator and the cilantro? And then you and Axel can cut the. I don't think it's in a drawer. I think it's on a shelf, but it might be in a drawer. Okay. Okay, step away from this. No, that's no. Cilantro's in a little rectangle. Woo! The other side. Wait, remember something. This is each side.
Next part. Cilantro. Look, where is that going? It won't.
Hey, you want to rinse that off and then cut it into tiny pieces? Thank you, Alexa. Rex, Axel, please put the dog down, wash your hands. And Alexa, thank you. Timer off. Okay. Can we get Rex? I'm not very interested. Hello. We're gonna get the asparagus ready for the romesco salsa. So this part of the asparagus, the tips, yummy. Asparagus it grows out of the ground like this. Okay, it looks like a stalking. This is the whole plant. But this part can be really hard to chew. So we're just gonna cut about the bottom third of the full plant off. Yes, you can, and you can cut this one. And are we starting to smell that steak? Is it starting to smell good?
Yes.
I saved these rubber bands.
Smells pretty good.
Mommy, is ready eating this one?
Yes. That way.
Mommy, here you go.
Right, that's
Where I
right.
put it?
You're gonna put it over here in the.
Okay,
It's not good. That's okay. It's not your fault because that's where we normally would put it. Okay, I need to put it because the blender was over.
You want another question?
Sure.
So this is good. How do you get your kids interested in cooking?
Guys, you want to answer
Maybe
that?
they can answer this.
What makes you interested in cooking? Cooking.
tasting the ingredients.
Tasting the ingredients. Me. Okay. What else? What are you looking for, Axel?
Where can we get them?
Right there, guys.
They're gone. I can't find a series in this.
Oh, the serrated ones are easy here. This is your cutting board, and here's the serrated knife.
Do you want to cut?
Betsy, turn around and just like maybe.
Come
I'll cut this.
What makes you interested in cooking?
Everything. The food.
Do you like to eat?
Yeah.
Tell them.
And
Tell your friends at home, like, why you want to be in the kitchen with me.
because I like the food you make, and I'm getting inspired, and I like everything you're making, so I want to join in.
It's fun to do stuff, right?
Yeah.
Eating is fun.
Eating is fun.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And the stuff that you cook, you want to eat it?
Yes.
Yeah. The more that you cook,
The more you eat.
It's also great to go to the grocery store together and do some of the projects
Yeah.
that then they're involved with. Sure. Go ahead. But I will say, like I was part of something that is important at home. One second, Axel, please stop. Is that you need to have some kid-friendly utensils, cooking stuff in your house, like
You can eat.
kid-friendly knives, Small whisks, things that small hands can use because other lots of cutting boards.
Hey, Mom,
Okay.
I think I doing it for you.
That's okay. And the recipes that you'll do with us are pretty flexible. So if you end up with like a oops, too much of this or too much of that, you're still gonna taste good at the end. And that is the most important. It's gotta taste good. Otherwise, it's no.
You sure?
So when we spill stuff or whatever, we just have to relax.
Mom, we're having a fat
Fair enough.
because we're gonna cook them.
Normally, I would suggest just
Okay.
instead of putting this in there, I would have cut this in tiny.
Do you like
pieces.
asparagus?
Yes, I love asparagus. Afterwards,
Okay.
no.
Rex, did you find all the cilantro? Was that all of it?
Yeah.
Show it to the camera.
Oh, sure. So this romesco salsa is a little bit
I have a knife.
soupier than usual. It's actually on the cover of our cookbook.
Yeah.
This one's just been blended a little bit more, which is totally fine.
But the second knife.
All right, we gotta get this steak out of here. So we seared it to seal all the flavors and seal all the juices. We would normally finish in the oven, and we need to finish in the oven with the asparagus. I need a knife to be put away in a safe way. And you just put it over here, and then this is hot. So what I would like to do is have you take
Yay!
this asparagus, put it on the tin foil, give it a little bit of olive oil. Put that up.
Is that the bone? The white part?
Yeah.
There's a lot of asparagus.
And spread it out as much as you can.
Yeah.
There we go.
Are we going for well done? What
I would like
are we trying to do?
We're trying to get it.
Always wash your hands, guys.
All wet.
It's very
All right,
useful.
so see this? We're going straight from the stove to the oven. You open the oven for me. We're gonna lower the stove. We are gonna put this here at like 180. That's about 350, 325 in the United States. We're gonna set this for about 10 minutes. We're gonna sprinkle this with some olive oil.
When you gonna do that,
Nope, because Nico's gonna do it. He's gotta learn to cook.
Oh
He's
yeah.
15,
I gotta
by when
learn
he's
to cook.
16, he's gonna have dates. He's gonna need to cook for his mom for Mother's Day. So sprinkle that on there.
Alright.
You can't do too much or too little, so just whatever feels good. And then you need to put that in the oven on top of the steak. Personally, I like a little bit of the garden vegetable McCormick seasoning. It's a salt-free seasoning.
Ooh,
And we're gonna go ahead and set that in the oven.
Put this in the oven as well.
Yep, Rexy, let's let Nico do that. Okay. That's not good.
There you go.
Well, that just too small.
Oh,
Hang on.
that's a shame.
boom.
Not a big deal.
Yes, right.
So, guys, while this cooks, and so at 10 minutes, we're gonna eat dinner. So before we eat dinner, I know we've got the table set. We've got some bread.
And let's go.
I know you guys are trying to have some bread. And maybe we can answer some questions for Nico or for me, or for you.
From you.
And then take everything out. We'll get it on the table. Take some bites, and then we'll let you guys enjoy your dinner too, because we don't eat in front of the computer. That's a family rule.
It's fine.
Now that's a lot of asparagus on the tray, so I would normally suggest like having about half that much and spreading it out. So I may end up doing it in batches, but this is fine. So Axel,
Yeah.
would you like to put some water out for everybody on the table?
Okay.
And then, do we have any questions for Nico or the
Yes, I
boys or any
Yes.
shout outs?
I
Go ahead, ask me a good question.
what's your favorite food?
Well, as I said before, I'm a big fan of paella, which is a Spanish dish, but I think I like famous dishes too, like everybody, like sushi, like who doesn't like sushi?
Sushi.
Yeah, or like pizza. Who doesn't like pizza?
I don't know.
Aliens from another planet.
And Nico, what restaurant does Nico like the best?
Oh.
Ooh, well, I love lots of restaurants. I love Chinese restaurants, I like Mexican restaurants, I like Indian restaurants, all sorts of restaurants. But I would recommend to anyone who lives here in Marbella a very good Chinese restaurant, which I go to very often. It's called Yuan Gabo. It's a very good Asian restaurant with lots of good Asian food.
Excellent. Well, we should go there. We're gonna go when we taste the World China. maybe we will go there and have.
But we're going to China?
Asian food.
Yeah. Well, how can we taste the world unless we
But
try
when
it
are we traveling there?
soon? Where else should we go?
Or actually, like,
What's
let's
your
go
favorite
there for real.
What's your like favorite style of food?
Favorite style of food? You mean like
Yeah.
Mexican or Chinese? Ooh. I think I'd have to go with Rex with Chinese.
Yes!
Pretty bad food, guys.
Well, I don't know. If I could only eat like one food for the rest of my life, it would probably be shrimp. I don't know.
Shrimps.
I love shrimp.
Sushi. I like
Really good.
I can eat it forever. And here they have the giant ones that we don't have. It's pretty awesome.
In Spain, we also have gambas al pipil, which is one of my favorite dishes ever.
Can you tell people what is one of its most key ingredients?
Ajo, I would say, which is garlic again, and the main thing about that dish is the sauce, which all Spanish people know that the secret to that dish is dipping bread in the sauce, which is banging.
So
Amazing, guys. You should try it.
absolutely. So when you come to Spain, you're gonna have paella at Nico's house. You can Romesco at home, and then you can have gambas al pil pil to feel truly Spanish, but don't forget to dip the bread.
Exactly.
So we are about 6 minutes from dinner time, and so this is a great time to tidy up the kitchen. And for any other questions, you want to read anything from the book? I kind of had this. Well, I'm going to nerd out and say like one of my favorite characters in your book was Knight Blackson.
Yeah, I like it. Yes, I like
Becomes one of Ash's or Brody's really good friends, and I wanted to try to make a.
Ooh, mommy, for my birthday, make a picture of him.
Okay, so Rex likes to get drawings for his birthday, which is like so great because it's free. So I wanted to try to make a kind of homage to the book and so there maybe it would be better to back up and say that in the world of Brody and Malachi and Fern and the gang, there are several different kinds of magic. It's not just like a one-stop shop, and so. I don't want to I don't know how much we can give away, but if you want to say maybe Knight's style of magic or all of them, then we could try this.
Well, Knight's a very shy person. He's very powerful too. He's a very skilled magician. Not magician, sorcerer is the word actually.
Oh, oops.
And and he is a master in dark magic, which is just like shadow magic, darkness. That revolves around his entire character. He's a very dark, sort of mysterious and shy character. But he's also very caring and loving for his friends and his family. That's what makes him a very full character, I like to say.
Yeah, I feel like you had a lot of development in the book, and I don't know, as someone who loves to wear bright colors, and I don't feel very shadowy. I don't know why I was drawn to the dark character, but that's like so. In the one of my cookbooks, Celebrating with Mother Goose, I had collaborated with a mixologist that lives in Chile named Antonio Munoz, and he and I developed this mocktail that uses activated charcoal, or carbon activada, I guess is how you would say it in Spain.
I guess so.
And you buy it at the pharmacy, and it's mostly used for like to soothe your stomach, and it's more of like a homeopathic style of making your tummy feel better. The nutrition science, since I'm a dietitian, is not really there one way or the other, but we have determined that it definitely isn't going to do any harm. So I wanted to try to make this shadowy drink in honor of Night, and I hope that it works. So if you look in here in this like spooky vial, I have charcoal, activated charcoal. I want to show you what that looks like.
It's pretty nice, guys.
So you
Dark drink for a dark character.
dark and mysterious. So when I buy it from the pharmacy, it just looks like this. It comes in these little capsules. So I just broke them open and let me use the other side of this and mix it with water. And then because we're in Spain, and like one of the greatest things about living in Spain is that you can go to like any gas station, grocery store, and there's a machine there that fresh squeezes orange juice, like right there in front of you. It's like. So it's very cool. I never get sick of watching them go through. So I just got some today, and I thought that we could make a little drink that has like Spanish orange juice, and then some really spooky, and we want to get in here close, like charcoal to add some of the dark magic in to you know. And so definitely more exciting looking as you're pouring it, but you want to try it first?
All right.
It probably, the only side effect might be black teeth, but
It's fine. We can live with that. That tastes really spooky. That tastes really nice, actually.
actually, does it taste mostly like orange juice?
Mostly like orange juice, but everybody likes orange juice.
I would think this would be great with like orange and mango or passion fruit, but I just wanted to like do something that was an extra easy pantry staple. And even if you haven't had a chance to read the book, you can have this in honor of Halloween and tonight Black Flame. So thank
Tonight, black flame.
you. Are your teeth black?
No.
Okay, good. We're safe. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, okay, cool. Well, I think we're about ready to eat.
I think so.
Okay. I'm just gonna tidy up and
Yep, tidy up. Okay.
anything else we gotta do?
You want more questions?
Any final questions?
Yeah. Final answer is final question.
Do you cook every day or do you batch cooking sometimes? I found very challenging to cook every day.
So that's you think that question's for me, right? No,
Yeah.
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
So, do I cook every day? No. Do I cook most days? Yes. Will you get that oven for me?
Yep.
Sorry.
I got it.
I'm just gonna set this here. The steak needs to rest before we can cut it, so this is the perfect time. So I like to batch cook specifically breakfasts, French toast, pancakes, waffles, stuff like that. I'll batch cook on the weekends and then freeze. So that way during the busy weekend, like week mornings, we can pop them in the toaster.
Yeah,
Your
my
area of
specialty.
expertise, and it tastes like a fresh breakfast. So I batch cook those. If I am making a more elaborate dish, like say for example, lasagna, I will make 2 and freeze one, and then we'll eat one. So that way I have one in reserve for that's the timer. Busy, like for nights that are busier. Like for example, I knew we were cooking live today, so yesterday we had onion soup from the bag that you open and you pour the hot water in. And I added in a bag of spinach to wilt it and some bacon bits. So that was
Sounds delicious.
it was delicious, but it was homemade, but not homemade. That meal took about 10 minutes. So some of these recipes, I mean, we started cooking at 7. We've been a little slow with the whole thing, but you know, normally if we're really efficient, this whole meal could be on the table in about 35-40 minutes. But breakfast, easy to batch cook. The rest of it, we kind of wing it. Don't forget that sandwiches are a meal. Like,
Yeah.
that counts. So it doesn't have to be a big spread every night. But cooking with friends and being together and just enjoying the meal together, I think that's really the priority, more than what's actually on the table.
It's having fun, guys.
Yeah.
It's the objective.
So let's check the asparagus. Let's
Let's
just
check the
see.
asparagus.
Oh, look, Barbie's here. What are you
Yep.
looking for, Barbie? All right. So
Where can people find like both books, like yours and Nico's?
Okay. Well, mine you can find on Amazon for people in the United States, or in the official website for my book, which is libros.cc, which is a Spanish website, which is where I published it from. And Lacey, where can we buy your book?
you can get it directly from my website, storybooknutrition.com. I also have the digital book on Gumroad, so the link to that is in the information for this show and this channel. So that if you do most of your stuff on the computer, you can do it. You can buy it and have it digitally as an immediate download. If you're here locally in San Pedro, both of our books are at the bookshop in San Pedro. They're sold out of Nico's right now, but they've assured me that in the next week or so they're going to have a delivery. So they're pretty excited about that. And or you can just write me and I'll ship you one, babe. So yeah please buy them, try them. Look on our websites. Download the free recipes from today's and get some practice and see how it works for your family. But my recipes are really tactile, so they're not overly precise. His book is like fascinating. We read it as a family. It was our summer read, and we just can't wait for the next installment to come out. Which, because remember, he wrote 7 whole novels. So when can we expect? the
I'm
next?
hoping to have the second one published before 2025. If everything goes according to plan, we'll have it ready by then. And the third one, hopefully, shortly after.
And then the Netflix series, and then.
We shall see. We shall see, guys.
So, yeah. So if you want to write a book, you want to write a recipe, you have an idea for a place for us to travel to as we taste the world, tell us, because we will try to make it happen.
Yep.
You know, there's no limit when we're all involved. So with that, let's, I'm going to plate with this asparagus. We're going to get the romesco on the table, and we're going to call everybody for dinner.
Yep.
So, we eat family style, so I'd like to put everything, I recommend that if you have, for your family at home, that way no one feels pressure to eat what's on their plate. We're not a clean plate club kind of a family. So, I'm just gonna put the asparagus out. Easy.
That looks very delicious.
It's nice and bright and green. It's great. It'll still be crispy. I only put 2 things in that, just a little bit of seasoning and some olive oil. You want to take that to your table?
Yep.
Thank you. And our romesco salsa, we made like a mountain of it, so I'm gonna put it in a powder bowl. And you can put that on top. You can eat it as a soup on the side, whatever. If you grow your own tomatoes, this is a great recipe, or even your own bell peppers. If you wanted to make this spicier, you could. I'm trying to grow cilantro. It is a much pickier plant than I realized, but if you look over here, you just need about like 10 times more for this recipe, but it's coming to these tiny seeds. So here's some romesco.
Yep.
And then the steak. So if you live here in Marbella, you might know that tomorrow there's a feria, there's a festival in San Pedro, which is where the kids and Nico go to school. And so there's going to be a carnival and all kinds of local delights. So if you haven't gone before, you should go. We're going to go. We'll tell you what we decided we like there. Wow, look at this piece of meat, guys.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll do the honors and cut it. So my niece, she wrote me earlier that she could eat steak at every meal. So we are, so let's take a peek, guys. This is why we do this. We've decided this might be too rare. So I'm going to put this back in. Yeah, because look,
Fair enough.
maybe it's good for Ash, but I think that for us, as non-werewolves, it wasn't quite enough time.
I think Barbie.
Barbie's all over it. So we're gonna finish this up in probably another 5-6 minutes in the oven. But maybe we'll sign off here. Don't shake up your whole night. Yeah. I would love to say, Axel and Rex, you guys want to say bye?
It's been a pleasure, guys.
So Nico Minguela, Spanish author of Malachite the Sorcerer's Heir. Lacey. Who are you guys?
Axel and Rex.
Yeah.
Our
Family
whole team here.
for Storybook Nutrition, Cooking with Mother Goose, Taste the World.
Did you subscribe?
We'll see. Yeah, be sure to
Like
subscribe.
and subscribe,
Be
guys.
sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. We'll probably have some Barbie.
Share the video.
Share
with all
the
your
video,
friends.
and we'll have some sangria tomorrow for happy hour, and we're gonna put the steak back in the oven. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.